Oh my god. I look like an idiot. Okay. Hi. Is this actually, I don't know. Oh god. Everything is not working. I'm so sorry right now. How can I pop this out here? Chat, pop out chat. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's wrong too. Okay. So there we go. I should be full screen right now. Maybe I can change this stuff later. If you wonder why I have this red beard and why I look like a complete lunatic, that is because I now have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. When the live chat starts, the time code reads 000. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I will actually keep this, and I have to admit I'm a bit dizzy from all the kind of fumes because I have coloring this beard for the last, I think, 1.5 hours, something like that, and all the while preparing the stream, so I'm kind of, yeah, besides myself a little bit. I thought this would be a cool idea. I didn't know it was so intense and so, yeah, distracting. So yeah, this is my 10,000 subscriber YouTube beard. I'm not sure I will keep it for very long. I look a little bit crazy having it, but yeah, there we go. Oh, by the way, I was extremely busy today with all this stuff, also preparing the content pack and all the kind of stuff, so I didn't really have time to look at not Adobe, Affinity Publisher, so I'm not sure we should do a review today because I don't really have prepared for that, but I have looked into using the assets and how to build your own asset collection, stuff like that, and of course I will show you the LUT pack that I've created because this was the most voted for a feature. Everybody said they want to have LUTs, so these lookup tables, and this is also why I have these pictures here in the background so I can show you different kind of looks on how the picture would change. I try to find some LUTs that are fun and interesting effects also. So yeah, let's do that, and also we can do the Q&A and stuff like that. Okay, and I will have my stream on the screen. I kind of forgot to set up like the laptop as a second screen, so I have to go back and forward between the chat and the stuff here on the screen. Oh, you can't see the screen. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. You can't see the screen because I'm still full screen. Let's switch over to Affinity Photo now. Where is it? Tutorial recording. There we go. Okay. I don't even have some kind of, oh my god, I look so ridiculous. It is so crazy. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, it really worked great. Because I have a dark beard, as you know, I had to first kind of decolor it like blonde, make it blonde. Which was really intense. I had to have like straws in my mouth and then also have like a how do you say, a fan blowing at me so the fumes don't make me pass out. And afterwards there was this kind of color cream which didn't have that much fume, so that was great, and also wasn't that intense to use, so that was very nice. I have 2 other colors. Actually, I wanted to do my beard 3-colored, but I ended up doing just 1 color because I ran out of time. Everything was a little bit cramped up. Barbarossa, yeah, absolutely. I look crazy. Hey, to Bangladesh. Very nice. So many people from all over the world. It's very nice, very cool. Who else do we have here? Lima. Okay, cool. Wow. What is NC? Charles NC is North Carolina, maybe? I don't know. And other countries. Atlanta, Washington, D.C., so a lot of people from the US. Calgary, Alberta, that's in Australia, right? Calgary? I actually have relatives in Australia. They live in Melbourne. Netherlands, Switzerland. Hey, that's really cool. Very, very nice. Okay, cool. By the way, what should we do first? Am I still live, actually? Because the chat is kind of... Yes, okay, I'm still live. Okay, cool. So, should we first do the asset? Whoops. Should we do first how the assets work, or should we first do the LUT pack, or should we start with like a Q&A kind of thing? Oh yes, Germany also. I forgot Germany, sorry. North Carolina, hey, see, I guessed it right. That's nice. Okay, perfect. From Belgium, hey, very, very nice. Very cool. Canada, wow, that's so awesome. Okay, perfect. Cool. So what should we do first? Or if you have any kind of questions, please ask them. And by the way, while you're on here online, I also want to tell you that I have a Reddit group. There it is. It's called Affinity Photo Tuts. It's not just for Affinity Photo. You can also ask stuff about Affinity Designer, Affinity Publisher, stuff like that. And yeah, you can post things here, questions, inspirational things, stuff like that. If you're a patron, you can also ask for feedback for your works. And often if you come in the group like here, you see something that has not yet been published as a tutorial because the patrons get 7 days, so 1 week early access. So this pencil style tutorial will come pretty soon. Yes. All right. Let's drop the link in the, where's the chat? There's the chat. I'm not sure I should show this stream window here. Is this? Yeah, okay, cool. There we go. Let's post this a couple of times. There we go. Oh, by the way, my YouTube channel also has something that is called Super Chat, which is like the donations you have on Twitch, where you can donate to my channel if you want to support me. I have never promoted it or tried it out, so I don't know how it works or what it does, but you can do that. Okay. So some people are for looking into the LUT pack. I have 4 different packs again. No way, 4 different packs. So there's a free pack, of course, that you can download. And then there is 3 different premium packs with a rising number of LUTs. Okay. So let's look into what I've created. So the biggest pack has 80 different LUTs. Some of them are variations of other LUTs, of course, because inside of a LUT is a lookup table, so it changes like the look and the color of a picture. You can't really do any kind of setting. So when I did something, for example, I have a pink look, and then I also made a variation for a blue look and a green look and a red look and a yellow look, because you can't adjust it afterwards. Okay, so let's look at some interesting LUTs I have created. Let's go here. You go to adjustments, down here is adjustment layer, and then to LUT, and then you just load the LUT. So let's go for the Pro Pack. The Pro Pack is, you can see the 80 LUTs here. You can see here all the names, which is also, I didn't have time to put the names below all of the stuff in the store. Just the Pro Pack has all the names below. I will put the other names later on, but you can see it's quite a lot of stuff. One that I found pretty interesting that you can do is you can make the picture black and white except of one color, which is very nice. So for example, the one that worked very well is, where is it? There, black and white, but yellow. You can see here now you have a picture and the city turned black and white and only the yellow color is left in the picture. And so, of course, in this case, I made a variation because you can't switch the color, but you can go, for example, everything is black and white except of the red colors, which is also nice. And of course, you can use this in other cases. For example, let's look up a picture for tomato. Tomato. Did I? Yeah, there we go. Let's have one where we have some other colors, like this one, for example. There we go. So here we have the picture, and whoops, there we go. Okay, so now if we say we have the LUT where we have everything but red, there we go. I put the effect over that, and you can see it's showing you just the red, and everything else in the picture is black and white. So it's a kind of an easy effect, but I thought as a LUT, it's kind of it makes sense. It's kind of interesting effect. We could also look here at the landscape. Whoops. I'm going to show a different effect. So example, I also, let's look at the chat. What does the chat say? What's in the free pack? I will also show the free pack. It's, wait a minute, 10 different LUTs are in the free pack. 1 second. And I will also post the link to the free pack in a second. I also made infrared pictures, style pictures. So you have this classic one where everything has this kind of, how can I say, pink, or in this case, brownish look. So it's strange that this turned out brown. It should be pink. It's interesting. Okay. Where's the others? Infrared, candy pink. So this is more pink. And the good thing is, one thing that I found out about LUTs is pretty interesting. You mostly supposed to use them in normal mode, and then you can adjust the opacity to make it more or less intense. But you can also use it with other blend modes and get really interesting results. You can see here, for example, when I put it to overlay, it looks completely different. It's a completely different style, but it gives you kind of an extra use for the picture. So we have several variations of these infrared kind of effects. There's kind of this spooky alien blue, which works very nice also with the grass, as you can see down here. And of course, by the way, in this case, because it has to be applied 100% to be black and white and then have a color, if the color is too intense, what you can do is you can just go in here to make another HSL adjustment and then just reduce the saturation. And so you get less of the blue effect. You can see it's super easy to do that, to adjust the intensity of the effect or make it even more intense. So you have to do an extra adjustment for that, but yeah, you can do that. What else do we have? Okay, let's look at the chat. If there are some questions. Hey, from San Diego. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, selective color. So basically it's selective color with the black and white +1 color. By the way, I also made, let's go back to the city real quick. I hope I'm not talking too fast or explaining this too fast. Where's the LUT? So I said we have black and white except of yellow, and this worked very well, especially with night pictures, because there you have these kind of yellow lights. So I thought it would also be a cool idea to take these yellow lights and then turn them into a different color. For example, to turn the all the yellow lights, you just have the yellow lights, but then you turn them into red lights, or you turn them into green lights, stuff like that. So you can have an interesting picture effect with that. And of course, you can reduce the effect any kind you want, and combine it with other effects, but not with other LUTs, because the LUT as a lookup table always is applied to the complete picture. So they don't really mix well with each other, but you can apply other adjustments to a LUT, if that makes sense. What else do we have here? So I made, and also I tried to be very useful with the names of the LUTs, because I downloaded different other packs to see what other people are doing, and I found that a lot of times they have some kind of strange fantasy names. So they call them Robin and Jackson and Brownville and blah, and you have never an idea what it is until you open the LUT. And I thought that's not a good idea. I tried that at the beginning because I thought, hey, maybe I should do that too. So some of my names, like here you have Playa, it doesn't really tell you anything. But afterwards, I really went with giving them names that actually make sense, where you know where they should be applied. For example, here we have a lot of them which are supposed to be applied to sunsets. I don't have a sunset picture. Let's find a sunset picture in the stock function real quick. Sunset, there we go, sunset. If you're just joining the chat, the reason, or the stream, the reason why I have this red beard is because today I got 10,000 subscribers. So I broke that mark, which is really great. I didn't expect to get there like until this fall or something. So this happened a lot quicker than I expect, and it's really, really cool. I'm trying to find a sunset picture that is not too edited. Maybe this one. Oh, wait. This is good. There we go. Okay. Is this... Let's zoom out real quick. Yeah, that's okay. That's in the right size. Okay, cool. So let's... resize and trim this so it's the right size, and now we can look at this is the wrong LUT, as you can see, but we can go down here to the sunset LUTs, and there we have different kind of settings. So you can see here how much this is changing the look of the picture, and because the name is sunset, all of these are supposed to be used with sunsets. So what else do we have here in here? Pink Blossom. You can see this is more intense. Of course, like I said, you can reduce the intensity. And I looked at different other styles online on Pinterest, on Instagram, and those kind of pages to see how did people edit these sunset pictures, how did people edit portraits and landscapes and city pictures, to see what kind of styles are famous, or not famous, but used a lot and interesting, and people like them a lot. And I tried to emulate them and give you the ability to apply them to your picture. So there we have one with a soft mood. And soft means that the black colors are not completely black, so it's more a bit, the colors are a bit more flat and more pastel overall the picture. Let's look at the chat if there's some new stuff. Yes, I will also look at the asset manager in a second. So I asked before, some people said, let's look at the packs first. And I will show you a little bit more about the packs. Then we go to the asset manager, which is interesting. I found out some interesting things. I also looked at some different videos on how to use it. But let's stick with the LUTs for now. So what else do we have in here for sunset? Soft mood, violet blush, violet mood. Let's go with this one. So this is more violet. And again, you can use it like this, or you can use it with another blend mode. And I found that soft light often works very well. So for example, here we have soft light, and interestingly enough, a lot of blend modes make the picture darker for some reason. So there is no kind of preserve luminosity setting or something like that, but you can reduce the impact, and you can see here that you get a very different result from this that is more high contrast and not that kind of soft picture you've seen before. So it's really interesting to use them in different ways. Also, multiply gives you a very interesting result on the picture. So play around with those and see what kind of results you like most. Okay. By the way, because there was the question before, what is in the free pack? Let's open the free pack real quick. Where do we go? There we go. Free. So these are 10 different LUTs, and one is called Atomic Pink. Then we have black and white to yellow. No, everything black and white but yellow, which you have already seen. One is called City Dust, which is making the... maybe I should show you. Makes more sense if I show you the different kind of things that are happening here. Maybe should I go with this one? Let's look up another city picture on top of this. It's always hard to find pictures that are not completely edited, where you have like more of a normal, natural picture. 1 second. Should look nice at the same time. I wish these kind of previews would be a little bit bigger. A bit small. This one is good. Please be horizontal. Let's see. 1 second. Okay, it's... Yeah, we can still use that. We have a nice street down here, so that's pretty okay. I think that works, right? Good. So, rasterize and trim. Okay, let's go here and look at the content of the free pack. Where is it? There we go. Free. Doop. So atomic pink is just like when you go to 100%, it's too extreme, which is what I found a lot of people who create LUTs do, because then you have more of a choice. You can go really extreme, but you can also go really soft. So when you reduce this, you have this kind of pinkish touch mood to it, which can be very nice, depending on how much you use it. And of course, you can go really extreme if you want to. It's the good thing is you have the choice. And like I said, try to combine this with other blend modes, for example, like soft light, and you can see you get a different result here, which also looks very interesting. Okay, let's go back to normal. If you have any questions about the LUT pack or what LUTs are or stuff like that, please write it in the comments. We have already seen this. I'm not sure if this works here very well right now. Yeah, it kind of does. And I think it's a nice effect. I have seen this on Instagram and on Pinterest, and I really like the look because it kind of still looks like it's colored, but it's not colored, and it has this kind of interesting movie look. So something about it is really appealing. I don't know why, but I really like that kind of look. Okay, so the next one is, yeah, City Dust, which is this one. So it's kind of a dusty yellow kind of mood in the picture, which is very nice. Then we have Day to Night. I wanted to make that because a lot of people often ask me, how do you turn a picture from day to night? So I created a LUT that kind of does that. It doesn't do it perfect. For example, we don't have the lights shining. You would have to do some more editing on the picture to turn on some of the street lights, stuff like that. But you have the ability to have a day scene and turn it to a night scene with just one click. So that can be very helpful. Okay, next one is Duotone. I included a Duotone. In the free pack, it's just one Duotone. I think in the Pro pack, it's probably 8 Duotones, so different kind of combinations. You can see here works very well as a LUT, actually. Then we have Faded Pinkish, which is, I also tried because a lot of people like this kind of vintage style, so I created different kind of faded pictures. I looked at old faded pictures, how do the colors change, and created LUTs based on that. So this one, which I think is the most well-known kind of way a picture fades, is that it goes into this kind of reddish pinkish mood. So this is why I included it in the free pack. Then we have a Flat Blue mood, which is kind of, it looks kind of black and white, but it is black and blue, basically. Black and blue to white, something like that. You know, I think you know what I mean. And again, you can really nicely blend this in, so it's not that intense, or use it with another blend mode. Let's go over to soft light. And by the way, some of them, like here, they work really well when you use it with soft light and are a completely different effect. And I really like this, that it has this kind of cool, maybe morning atmosphere, stuff like that. So like this clear, you get up in the morning and it's a nice day, and this kind of atmosphere. So it's really, really nice. Let's look over to the chat 1 second. What does the chat say? Yeah, the Duotone is nice. I really like that too. I also like the other combinations. We can have a look at that. Will you talk about Affinity Designer? You can ask me something about Affinity Designer because it's also Q&A. So if you have questions about that, and if I'm able to answer these questions, I will try to. Any tool similar to Shape Builder in Affinity? If you mean by Shape Builder the like pencil, you have this in Affinity Designer, but not in Affinity Photo. Okay, I will show you the rest of the LUTs in the free pack. 1 second. So we have the infrared picture. And yeah, which I showed you before. So it's kind of, if you look it up, you can take photos with a infrared film, I think, and then it only takes up infrared light and not normal light, and gives you kind of a very special effect for the look. It looks black and white plus a certain color. In this case, it's kind of pink, but it seems like in most it looks more like orange, which is interesting because when I built this, it looked more pink. Anyways, let's go on. What is this? Shade King's Ink. Okay, there's another one, which is a shade. And those are different. Let's see. What was the other one? Okay, the other one was this kind of atomic thing here. No, the flat blue. Yeah, so you can see the difference between these is, like in the Pro pack I have different variations, in the Free pack there's just one of them, so I selected from the different categories. So the flat ones are flat, as you can see, so the black colors are not completely black, while the shade ones apply a shade to all of the picture, in this case this kind of inky blue, but is also high contrast at the same time. So that gives, you can make a really interesting, nice mood with that in your picture. Of course, again, I did the effect too extreme in the settings, so you can reduce it and actually put it to a look that you actually want to have. Let's go back to 100%. And the last one in the Free pack is Sunset. Which also works kind of nice here. It's more for like sunset where you have a lot of sky. It's not really for photographing screen and kind of tarmac and all this kind of stuff. It's more suited for a picture like this. But it also looks good with night shots like this, which is kind of a nice look that you find often on the internet, this kind of pinkish night look. Okay, cool. So that was the Free pack, and in the Pro pack, like I said, there is 80 different versions, 80 different LUTs that you can apply to your pictures. Let's look again at the chat. Ich finde den 3D LUT. I don't find the 3D LUT in photo. Where is it hidden? It's hidden down here where you have the adjustments. And you click, and there it says LUT. It doesn't say 3D LUT, it just says LUT, because it accepts different kinds of colors. No, sorry, different kind of LUT formats. Yeah. And also, by the way, as much as I understand it, if I understand this right, the reason why it is called 3D LUT is because it's applied to 3 different colors, which is RGB. So it's basically 3-dimensional because one color would be 1 dimension. So it's not really, it doesn't really have to do anything with 3D graphics or stuff like that. It's more like a mathematical equation that is not just one for one color, but for 3 different colors, and this is why it's called 3D. Anyways, okay, I'm not sure if I explained that good. Yeah, so what else should I show? What else do you want to know? Or I could also, let's post a link for the Free pack, and whoops, 1 second, there we go. So here we have this one. There we go. And oh no, I forgot to edit this. Let's edit it right now. Sorry, you have to watch this. I didn't have time. I did not have time to do this. So, wait. There's the share link. Okay, let's... Oh, this is already published. Okay. Where's the link? I need the link. Let's go to products. I just have to... No, that's not it. Sorry, 1 second. I'm almost done. This is in the wrong order, of course. I don't know why. It's just for me. For you, it's in the right order. For me, it's in the wrong order. There's no picture. Why is there no picture? Oh, God. Okay, the things are a bit messy today. I'm sorry. Edit. Upload 80. Okay. 1 second, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And then we can go on. No, I have to go to profile. And then I need the links here. This is the only thing I need to add the links to the store page, and that's it. Come on, why is this not working? There we go. Okay, so this is the 25 pack. Where's the... Sorry, you have to watch this right now. I have to put the links in here. It's pretty important. Let's go back to the profile. There's 45. Okay, now I get it. I have to click on the little icon. There we go. and then just one more, 80. Where's the link? There's the link. Okay, great. There we go. Okay. Boom. Ready. Profile. So now I need the there we go. And please stay in the live stream. Don't download them and run away and just play around with the LUTs. That would be not so good. Anyways, here you can get it. And of course it is on there independently, so don't worry about that. Hey, Phyllis. Hi. Good. Again, if you joined at the moment, the reason why I have this crazy red beard is because I reached 10,000 subscribers, so I'm celebrating this today. Hey, everybody. And yeah, I colored my beard red. I'm still a bit dizzy from the fumes. It's getting better. Yeah, and I'm not sure how long I will keep that beard, but anyways, it's for the moment it's pretty cool. I've never done this in my life, so this is also why I have no idea how to do this correctly. Yeah, okay, so what else should we do? Should we do the assets now? Let's look at the assets. I will open a new file real quick. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's make this non-transparent, and then you have to go to View and then to Studio and then to, where's Asset? There, Assets. There we go. Okay. And the interesting thing, and I wrote a post on the forums of Serif. It doesn't synchronize with the other softwares you have. So if you create an asset library in your Affinity photo, it does not synchronize at the moment to Affinity Designer or Affinity Publisher, which is kind of strange. But you can export your assets and then import it into the other software. I hope they will update this soon. So what you do is you go up here and then you create a new category, or you can also create a new subcategory. So in this case, let's create a new category. You can rename this. So you go in here again and then rename the category, and you can call it, I don't know, live stream group. There we go. Okay. And if you want to, now you can do different. So there's already a subcategory in here, which is like just one, and you can add multiple more. Like you go up here on these three little lines, and then you say create subcategory, and you can rename these subcategories. Okay, so now comes the interesting part. How do you get assets in there? It's not the most convenient way at the moment. So if you have a pack that you can download, you can import your assets, or if you have created your own asset library, you can also import that. If you go to import assets, it has this file format AF assets, which is Affinity Photo. So it's really just for Affinity Photo, which is kind of I don't know if there's other formats out there from other companies, but this is at the moment limited to that. So if you are using PNGs as your assets, you are in luck, my friend, because you can just drag and drop them. That's really amazing. So let's open one here. I downloaded some stuff here. Downloads, there we go. So we have these, what do we have here? Maybe not those. Oh no. Where's the other pack that okay, anyways. No, that's not good. Where? Okay, we can go with this. So we have PNGs here, and you can now take these PNGs. So you can see we have 100 PNGs in here. You can just take them, and you can see they have names, and these will keep the names when you drag them in here. So you can see, just drag them in there, and it takes a bit, and there we go. The problem that you see right now is that you can't change the background color of the asset window. So if it would be a little bit less gray, you wouldn't see the asset at all. So yeah, this is also something that needs to be changed. The good thing is they still have their original file name. So if you go down there, you can see down there is a search. If you enter, for example, full for folder, then it shows you all the files that have folder in their name, and you can just drag them in here. This one is a little bit big, but it's okay. You want to have something that is high resolution, depending on what you want to do with that. And you can find a lot of free packs like that online with different icons and other kind of stuff. So let's go back here, and you can see I can use any of those, just drag them in and use them. Okay, so this was the easy part. Let's rename this real quick to PNG or assets PNG. Okay, so now comes the kind of strange part. Let's do now rename EPS. EPS, there we go. You have EPS files, of course, and you can download them as collections like here. And Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer can open them, and it looks like you can drag them in here. There's a little plus sign here, but if you do, actually nothing happens, and that's very strange. It doesn't work. You can't drag this in here. What you have to do, and that is really like, I don't think you can use it at the moment, because you would have to open every single file in Affinity Photo and then add this. So what you would do is you go here to File, Open, where's my downloads? Sorry, Downloads. Is this the one? Yeah, EPS. So you go here, responsive, it opens this, and then you would go here to at the 3 lines again. No, sorry. You go here to the 3 lines and you say add from selection. And this adds from selection, but the problem is it's called layer. It's not called the file name, it's called layer. So you would also have to go in here and rename this to something that's useful to you, because otherwise you could not use the search. And if you do this for like 500 files, I think you explode. So I don't think this is really something you can use. With PNGs, it's really easy, but with EPS files or AI files or any kind of these other files, it is very work intense. And this is when you're lucky and you have files that are already separated into individual EPS files, because often when you go to a page, let's look at the chat, by the way. Okay, hey Pope, thanks for being here. See you soon. When you go to a page like, for example, Free Pick, like here, you get a lot of nice graphics and like all these kind of vector things. You can see here icons. And these are also icon collections, but when you download them, you will realize that they are all in one file. So in that case, what you have to do is you go in here to File and then to Open. And let's go over here to this one that I've already downloaded. You can see here's a preview in JPEG, and here we have the EPS file. And now the bad thing is that all of those, oh, I can't even look at them as individual. No, I can. Okay, there you go. So you have these here, and you can see that every shape has its extra layer. So what you need to do is you have to select, whoops, I have to delete the background. There we go. You have to select, in this case, you are lucky enough that all of them are like in a similar location. You can easily select. As you can see, when I use my move tool and I click and drag over them, it selects all of these layers combined. You can see here these 3 layers, and then you hit Control-G on your keyboard and this will create a group, and you will have to do this for every single one of those. There we go. And when you're done with all of that, you can click on that and then go here and say add from selection. So you have to do this one by one. Again, super work intensive. And again, these are called group now. So you also have to rename them. So it's If you want to do it, you can do it. It's very work intensive, but then you have a nice asset collection where you can just drag in the things that you need. And by the way, I would really suggest, if you do that, export the collections, the asset collections that you have done, because I've read on multiple times on forums that people suddenly lost their collections. They vanished for some reason, and they are also kind of saved in a specific file format that you cannot access, so they're not really in a normal folder where you can just drag them out. So if they're gone, they're basically gone, or if this kind of thing gets corrupted, they might also be gone. So always go in here and then say export assets to make a backup after you have created your collection of assets. But other than that, it's a really cool kind of thing to use. And by the way, what I can also suggest is that you just use the stock function, because that is very quick and often you find the icon you need. So for example, Pixabay, you can go in here and say, let's say mouse icon. Let's see if that's actually a thing. Yeah, well, there it is. Look at that. There's a mouse icon. That's very cool. There we go. It's kind of good from the resolution, so you don't really have to build an assets library if you don't want to. Of course, these are PNG files, they are not vector files. In this case, of course, you maybe can also download. I don't think if Pixabay, I think they only have PNGs. I'm not sure at the moment. But you can see you have different kind of files here. Also for the social services, let's say Facebook icon, you can find this on here. Should be able, there we go, there's a Facebook icon. So yeah, that can be very useful if you want it the quick and easy way. Okay, so this is basically how assets work most of the time. And like I said, they don't synchronize with other softwares, but there is one benefit, and that is if you go into Publisher. Publisher is basically, I don't know this for sure actually, but I think that Publisher actually includes Designer and Persona. Designer and Photo. Because when you click here, it doesn't need to load the software, it just switches like it's a different persona. So I guess that Affinity Publisher also includes the software Designer and the software Photo, but you still have to buy them and you still have to install them in the newest version. That's really important. And it will check your disk, and if everything is okay, then it's kind of unlocked here and you can use that. And the great thing here now is you can see that the assets that you have built in here, they work in all the three programs. So let's go in here, make also a new file, a web format. What do we want to use? There we go. Okay, and now I can just drag this in here. What do we have here? It's like, oh yeah, here, party time. Oh, some happy fruits. That's very nice. There we have a birdie. You can see you can do some fun stuff here. So these are all PNGs, by the way. This is the file that I searched for before. Now we have it. You can see it's super easy and super fast, and you can do a lot of interesting, funky stuff with that. Like you can put sunglasses on this. I don't know what that is. Let's put it here in the drink. There we go. Okay, so this is how assets work, and this is how also you can use it in Affinity Publisher. And if you have the other Designer and Photo software, you can use it there too. All right, any kind of questions? What's the difference between a PNG and a vector file? Thank you, Phyllis, for the question. Hey, David, hey, David, how are you doing? The difference is that a PNG is a pixel file and a vector file is based on mathematical lines. And so what that means is when I zoom in here, you will see that you can see pixels at a certain size. And this only happens with a pixel graphic. But on the other hand, let's go over to Designer. Am I in Designer? Oh, this is it uses the same kind of file. There we go. So if you have this, for example, is now a vector shape. let's change the fill color so you can see it better. And now if I zoom in here, no matter how far I zoom into it, it's always sharp. It doesn't have any pixels because it's a mathematical shape. It's a virtual shape. So it's not made of pixels. It's not made of any kind of structure, just like a mathematical formula that can be resized in any kind of shape. So yeah, that is the difference between a PNG and EPS or like a vector file. Yeah. Okay. Good. What else do we have? What else do we, is there other questions? Those are not included. They provide quick access to the other apps. Are you sure they are not included? Because the thing is that they open in a second. And usually if I open the program itself, it takes a time. And it doesn't take a time in Affinity Publisher. So you can see here, if I open Designer, it loads. See? It says loading fonts, and then load the program, and then I'm here. It's not very long, but it takes a little bit of time. And when I switch here, it's completely instantly. I'm completely instantly in the different kind of software. So that's kind of interesting. Also in the live stream of Affinity from Serif, what I found really interesting is that they say the different kind of files they have. So you know they have .af photo, .af designer, .af publisher. Those are actually all the same kind of file. The only difference is that you have to name it that way, so your operation system like Mac OS or Windows can differentiate them and work with them and identify them with the software, but they are actually the same file. So, which of course doesn't have anything to do with the software, but I found that interesting, and so I kind of think maybe it's including all of these because they have very similar functions. But I don't know. It's just an idea. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Okay. Vectors are cleaner. Yes, they are very much cleaner. It's more work intense if you want to build something. And of course, you can't do a photo in vector, but you can do these nice graphics here, which are very nice. And I try to do more vector design tutorials on my channel. At the moment, they are not watched that much, not as much as my Affinity Photo tutorials, which of course is because I built my channel on Affinity Photo. But I hope more people will come and look at that. By the way, I want to do an isometric city. So that will be a cool project. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, yeah, you have to install the other software and you have to update it to the newest version. I did that today, and only then it actually unlocked here, so I can click these buttons. So you have to update that. I didn't get any problems at the moment because a lot of people, they had some problems with the updated versions of Affinity Photo and such. I didn't see any problems yet, but I didn't have much time to test them also. All right, what else do we want to do today? If you have more questions, please, please ask. While I drink a sip of coffee. With my red beard. Oh God, I look so crazy. I'm really looking forward to going out tomorrow. No, tomorrow is Sunday. Into a shop or something and see how the people react when I come in with my red beard and if they think they're completely crazy. And by the way, I thought about that idea, doing that red beard, and then I thought about these guys who stream on Twitch and they do all kind of crazy stuff, and I thought, oh, okay, now you're doing the same thing. But at the same time I thought, well, red's YouTube kind of fits, so why not? And I can always cut it off, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so what else should we do now? The asset thing was kind of quickly explained. If you have more questions about that, please ask. And like I said, you can do subcategories. There is no tagging system, so I wrote a list. We can look at the list of things, by the way. Let's do that real quick. Forum, Affinity Photo. Let's see. By the way, if you didn't know there is a forum, there is one. I will post the link real quick also in the chat, so you can subscribe. Oh, not subscribe, but register there. Where's my live chat? Sorry. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Okay. I don't know where I put this. There we go. So I wrote, we need drag and drop for different formats like EPS and AI. It should be synced between the different kinds of software like Designer, Photo, and such. The background color should be able to be changed. These are all suggestions I make that they should include. We need tags so we can identify the files better. Automatic backup would be great. Then we need open asset storage format so we can just have folders where we drop files, because if you would have that, you could make a folder on Dropbox or on Google Drive or anywhere, and you can synchronize this folder with all of your other devices and then just tell Affinity Photo, hey, look, use this folder, use the subfolders as subcategories, and use all of them as my assets in my library. This would be super convenient. I hope they could do something like that. I don't know. And of course, it would be great to be able to set the size of the file, because you have seen they come in with different sizes, and often from the websites where you download it, some have huge resolutions, some have only small resolutions, and it's a bit of work intense to reset this every time. So it would be nice to have kind of a equation basically where you say 100%, so 1 equals 0.5, so it's only half its original size, stuff like that. When it's dragged in, not the resolution, just how big it's presented. Okay, let's look back to the live chat. Is there an easy way to auto-trace pixel images in Designer like in Inkscape? Nope, at the moment there isn't. So I would suggest you should also install Inkscape for these kind of functions. Also other stuff like perspective, changing the perspective of shapes is something Affinity Designer can't do at the moment, but if Inkscape can do, which is another software for vector graphics. But what you can also do is a lot of services online that will allow you to trace you can just Google that image vector trace online. Let's see. There, for example, Vector Magic. I don't know, some of them they ask for money, others don't ask for money. So you drag the file in there, they automatically convert it into a vector shape of varying quality. So try out different kind of services, and then you can download it as a vector file. You can see here they have PDF, SVG, EPS, all these kind of different vector files. You can see up here it says pricing, so maybe this is not free. I don't know. I'm not sure I've tried it, but there's like different ones. You can see here online image vectorizer, online, it's the same one. Oh no, this is called AutoTracer. So different kind of services, try them, and this will automatically convert your picture. Of course, it works best if you have something like you have seen like this, like a logo, where it's already kind of separated colors. It probably doesn't work as great if you enter like a portrait or something, or a picture of your cat. But if you have something that you have already drawn, you can convert that rather easily. So that's great. Can you go over assets again? Kind of. We can do a short version. Let's do a short version. So there's two ways you can do that. If you have a PNG, you go to your assets window. If you don't see the assets window, go to view and then to studio and then to assets, and make sure there's a hook next to it so the window is shown to you. It might not be here because I just dragged this out. It might be somewhere down here or such. And if you have PNGs, you just make a new category and then you drag all of the PNGs into the category, and this will keep the file name so you can search for the file name. For example, you can see this one says calculator. So if I type down here calculator or calc, it will give me only this file. So this is really super helpful. On the other hand, if it is a vector file, you have to open each individual file, and then you click up here. No, sorry, you click here on these three lines and say add from selection. So you select the layer and that will add it to your asset library basically, but it's called layer, so you have to rename it so you are able to search for it, unless you don't need to search for it. If you don't have hundreds of EPS, then you're good. If you just like have 20 or something, then that's okay. Good. Yeah. And also, if they come in individual layers, like here, we can see every shape has an individual layer. We can't see it right now because I'm in the history, not in the layers. Where are my layers? They are... Oh, there we go. You can see they are... Everything is an individual layer. So you just select everything and then Control-G to group it. And now it's a group. And you can add the group like this. Bam. There we go. Here it is. You can see it's again called group. So click on that. And then rename that, and no, that's wrong. Right click on it, sorry. Right click on it and rename, and you can call it diamond, for example. There we go. So now it's diamond, and when you use your search, dia, it comes up with this file. Right, all right, cool. What else do we have? Orange beard, no, it's a red beard. It's a red beard because of my 10,000 subscribers that I reached today. So in celebration, I colored my beard YouTube red, which I know it looks completely crazy. I'm not sure how long I will keep it, but I will have some fun with it and see how people react to that, and also take some pictures so I can remember this glorious time. By the way, also, thank you everybody for subscribing to my channel. That is really great. Recently, kind of by coincidence, someone commented on an old video on my channel and said, hey, only a year ago you just had like 500 subscribers. And this is really funny because in this video I celebrate my reaching 500 subscribers. This was last February. So 1.5 years, or 1 year and 4 months ago, I had 500 subscribers. Now I have 10,000 subscribers. That is really crazy and really amazing. And it was a lot of hard work. I think when I compare my channel to other channels, I put out at least double the amount of videos. So I really do a lot of work for the community to help you out, to give you interesting information and knowledge. And yeah, it shows in your support and your love, and you're subscribing to my channel. So I'm really happy about that. And thank you very much for doing that, for supporting me, because I wouldn't be here without you. So that's a very important thing to also know. Yeah, it's all about you. Thank you. All right. The badass beard. Thank you, Don Buster. What else do we have as questions? Categorize, organize photos similar to Lightroom. Nope. You can't do that yet. The reason for that is that the big difference between Lightroom and Affinity Photo is Lightroom is a photo adjustment and organizing software. So you make adjustments over here, while Affinity Photo is a photo editing software. It's not meant for organizing pictures, and it's meant for like more extreme editing where you make photo collages and all these kind of things, not just adjustment of colors or contrasts and stuff of that like that. Although this is what a lot of people do with it most of the time. But this is kind of very different concept. Also, Lightroom is non-destructive, so all of the editing is saved inside of the software library, not in the picture, while in Affinity Photo, all of your editing is saved either in the Affinity Photo file individually, or is like hard coded, basically, is rendered into the file when you export it in the format of your choice, and you can't undo this afterwards. So you should always keep the original and then save a new version in Affinity Photo, and not save it over the original, because the original is lost afterwards. So make a backup, then load it in Affinity Photo, then edit it and save it somewhere else. Don't save it over the original. All right, what else do we have? Can you show or perhaps make a video on how you color match or match luminosity when compositing two photos into one? I'm not sure I understand the question. Hey Marcus, can you show or perhaps make a video on how you color match or Match luminosity. So the brightness, basically, or the color of two photos into one. So if you have two different things that you want to combine into one photo. Well, there's two things. You need to, of course, adjust the color of it. By the way, I have a video where I show that. Let's go to my channel real quick. I have a video. Not sure if it's named in the best way. Let's go to my channel. Let's see how much subscriber I have. 10,034. That's cool. Okay. 10,034. That's nice. And this is, by the way, an extra plugin. If you don't see this on my channel, it's the reason because this is called TubeBuddy, and I've installed this so I can always see the stats when I go to my channel. Laptop. I did a laptop. There it is, laptop mock-up. Okay, so yeah. So when you watch this video, it shows you how you put a picture in the screen of a laptop in a realistic way where you think that the picture is actually on the screen of the laptop. And this also includes adjusting the brightness and also the colors and also the ambient color of the room or of the rest of the picture, so you actually feel like it's in there. So these steps are important. And then also there's an extra step where I simulate a reflection on the screen, which is kind of it looks like it's reflecting a window that's behind you, which of course there's no window. It's just so you have a little bit of like, it looks like you're looking at a screen and not like a printed paper picture, stuff like that. Okay. So look at this, look for laptop mock-up. There I explain how you bring two pictures together so they look like they are in the same dimension, in the same room at the same time. All right. What else do we have? Other questions? PSD not as text, that's bad, very bad. Text in Affinity exports in PSD not as text. Why? What does it export as? Because PSD should conserve the text layer, right? That would be strange. Is it converted to pixels? I don't think so. That would be strange. Please can. Yeah, hi Mia. I thought I said that I will do a review of Affinity Publisher today, but I didn't have time to prepare, so I don't really want to do that today. But I will do a video review in the next days that I will publish on my channel, so you get it as soon as possible. I just didn't have time to really prepare and look into the things so I can actually give you a good review. So I wouldn't feel good about doing that today. What does your Patreon channel show? That's also a good question. Hey, Carlos, how are you doing? It doesn't. 2 pixels, yes. Okay, cool. I will look at that in a second. Let's look at Patreon real quick. So if you don't know, I do have a Patreon. Patreon is a system. Let's go back to my channel real quick. So Patreon is a system when you have a YouTuber and he does all these kind of videos, you can support the YouTuber and you get something in return. So do I actually have a link here? That's a good question. I don't. Okay, I don't. I have a link under every of my videos though, so it's very easy to find. Let's go in here, for example, with the ice cream video. You can go to Show More and there it says support me on Patreon. And this is my Patreon blog here. And usually you don't see the first posts here. I only see the first post because I'm logged in, and of course it's my Patreon. For you, this one is locked. So let's go to an incognito window so you see what you're actually seeing when you go to the blog. Well, just to explain this real quick. You can see I have 40 supporters. And they get benefits and they support me with money in return for that. So you can see normally you see here you have to unlock this post. There's different tiers. So this is all locked, and this is unlocked. This, by the way, should not be unlocked because usually I would have posted this today, but I'm not posting it today because I'm doing the live stream today. So I'm gonna post this on Tuesday. So actually you can watch this today if you want to, but actually should be live on Tuesday. Anyways, I hope it's not getting too confusing with all the stuff I'm saying. You get, like, when you click here and become a patron, it will give you different choices. You can see here, for example, let's click here on the $3 support. So what you get if you support me with $3 per month, by the way, it's not per week or per file or per anything, it's per month. So that's, how much is that? $36 per year. It's like less than an Affinity photo book costs. So you get for that, of course, all of my tutorials, which is, how much is it? I think like 100 videos, because I do 2 videos per week. So it's at least 104 tutorials that you get, which of course you already get on YouTube, but you get them 7 days early. Then you get also access to my files with all the layers, which is Affinity photo files and Affinity designer files, sorry. Then you get the small pack. I create a content pack every month. You get that for free. The small pack already costs $3. So, if you're one of my patrons, you basically get it for free. And if you buy it, you get it for the same price, but you don't get the extra benefits. So it makes a lot more sense to become a patron. And of course, you have access to all the other packs that I've released so far. Then if you want to buy the Pro pack, you get a 30% discount. So you just pay the normal price of $10 and not any kind of extra money. From tier 1. Yeah, okay, of course you get everything from the lower tier. In this case, it's 7 days early access. You get feedback from me on Reddit. And of course, you can join me on Reddit and you get a badge on Reddit, this Patreon badge that shows that you support me and that enables you to get the feedback on your creations on Reddit. Yeah, so that's for $3, and for $5, for example, you get my full length videos. For example, if I do, let's go back to my channel real quick. We have this ice cream video here, and here it is 24 minutes where I do this right ice cream here live with explanations, and then the full video is, I think, over 1 hour long, where I also do the other 2 ice creams. So I do everything complete, and you can watch me in real time and have this benefit of really seeing what I'm doing. Let's go back to the other layer. Sorry if this is kind of confusing right now. What else do you get? 50% discount, and of course you get the medium pack for free. And then there is a $8 tier. I have forgotten about that, where you could actually ask me a question. This was when I still did the behind the scenes videos. And of course there's the $10 thing where you get the Pro pack, so the biggest pack for free every month, plus all the other stuff. Yeah, so, okay. All right, I hope that wasn't too confusing. Yeah, so, I should probably post a bunch of my links here. Bam, bam, bam. There you go. Okay. What else have people asked in the meantime? It's converted to pixels and PSD. That is really strange. Maybe you should put them in the forums. We can test this real quick. Let's see what's going to happen here. So here we have a normal pixel file. Let's make a test text. Let's write test here. So this is normal text. Here it says text layer. Let's save this. Save as. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Let's export this as a PSD. What does it say here? Preserve accuracy. Preserve editability. Maybe you need to choose that. Let's try that. Preserve editability. Not sure if I pronounced it right. You have more settings here. Resample, rasterize all layers. We don't want that. Let's close this. Let's export it to, I don't know. Let's make a new test layer here. Test PSD. There we go. We will call this edit no raster, so we know what kind of settings we chose. Let's close this and open it again. Where did we go? Tutorials, test file, edit no raster. It's a pixel. Why? What is going on here? That's very strange. That should not happen at all. It's actually dangerous when you put hours of work into that and you send it to a customer and that it's pixelated. That is very, very bad. Let's export this again. PSD, preserve accuracy. Final Cut Pro. Let's check this. Final Cut. And then we export this also as PSD, preserve accuracy. Accu, let's just call it Accu. Okay, let's open those. Final Cut, pixel. Open, accuracy, pixel. Wow, okay, I did not know that. That is very, very strange. Well, I don't know what to say. That is very strange. I don't know why this happens. Are there maybe any kind of settings? Preserve accuracy. Let's go here to... no, this is something else. Compatibility mode. Rasterize all layers. No. Resample nearest neighbor. Preserve adjustment layer effects. Lines. Embed metadata. That is very strange. I don't know. There is no setting for text. That's very strange. So apparently it actually does rasterize the text. You can do nothing about it. You could save it to PDF and then it's preserving the text. But you can't do it as PSD apparently. Very, very strange. Okay. Good. Are there any other questions? Can you import it? I don't have a PSD file right here, so I don't know if you can. I'm pretty sure you can import it if it's a text layer. You should be able to see the text layer. You can import, you can't export. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Don. 1 second, my cat wants in. Let's turn the camera off for a second. I will be back in 1 second. Okay, there I am back again. Oh my god. Oh god, every time I see myself, I look so ridiculous. It's a good thing I didn't color my eyebrows, or maybe I should have colored them. Holy crap. That looks so crazy, and it actually does look orange. I hope it doesn't change the color and tomorrow I wake up I have like a bright orange beard. Although maybe that would be better. Wow. And of course I wear a blue shirt, so I have the maximum contrast here. I look so insane. Okay. What else do we want to do today? Let's close this. If you want, by the way, we could look into how to create LUTs if you want to do your own LUTs, maybe. Or maybe you should buy my packs first and then I show you how to do that. I don't know. Are there any questions? Oh, maybe I should also link the Pro Pack. So this is the Pro Pack. There we go. And by the way, here's the name of all the LUTs in here that are included in the Pro Pack. You can see 80 different versions. And you can see like I made versions inside here. So for example, Duotone, we have, now I can tell you how many different we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different versions. So blue, red, blue, green, blue, orange, blue, pink, blue, sepia, red, sepia, teal, orange, teal, pink, violet, sepia. So there's a lot of stuff in here. And also there's other variations. So there's a lot of very interesting and useful stuff in here. I also made these kind of LSD filters here, which are also kind of nice. We can look at them. They're kind of fun. Where do I have the picture? Let's, for example, take the lady here and then have this kind of, where did I put this? Tutorials, products, LUTs. Oh God, I have too much folders. There we go. LSD. Miami. Whoops, it's not turned on. There we go. Which is, of course, the blue and the pink, like fading together. It has a little bit of this avatar look with the blue lips and stuff like that. But I thought this is kind of very fun look to have, and of course a bit extreme also. And I made some other versions of that. Where do I have that? There we go. Aqua World, which is more blue and green. Wow, okay, that looks kind of strange here. I don't know why. That's not a good look. Okay. By the way, this sometimes happens because when you download pictures from the internet, they are not compressed in a very nice way. I'm not sure if you can see this here right now. Let's go in here for levels. Do I want levels? Yeah. You can see here that this is really pixelated and kind of has these steps in here that are going on. So this is why the effect looks not as smooth. Oh, by the way, and this is a very important thing, I created every one of my LUTs as in a 64 resolution. Why is a mask on here? I don't know. So when you export a LUT here, let's do this real quick. You can see here, you can have a resolution of, it's set to 17 as normal for some reason. I don't know why. So 17 would give you like color steps basically. I'm not sure I'm using the right words right now, but if you go here and you calculate this 17 times 17 times 17, those are only 4,913 different values, and for every one of my LUTs I selected 64 as the resolution basically, which gives you a lot more values. Let's do this real quick. 64 times 64 times 64, that's 262,144 different values that you get in here. So a lot more steps in between, because otherwise it would be interpolated, so calculated up from the 17 to a higher value. And in this case, I already exported it in this kind of higher value, which also makes the LUTs kind of big. So they are, every one of those is about 6.9, almost 7 megabytes big. So it's kind of big, but it's also better quality. All right. Are there more questions from the community? Let's see. It looks like Campbell tomato soup got smashed. Yes, it does. It does. Yeah, like I fell into a ketchup bottle or something. There we go. Okay. Is there any other questions? Do you have any kind of other questions to ask me, or what you want to see, stuff like that? And by the way, like I've seen, we can talk a little bit about LUTs, like I said. So if you want to create your own LUTs, the important thing is that LUTs only include the adjustments that you do, and only the adjustments for colors and contrast. So for the brightness of a color and of the color of a color, basically, but nothing else. So if you blur your picture, doesn't matter. If you put, for example, also if you put a rectangle over this, and let's recolor the rectangle with a different color like that, and then we make a blend mode and say, I don't know, let's say soft light like this. You cannot create a LUT from this, because this is not an adjustment and Affinity Photo doesn't know what to do with that. So if you export this, if you go here to export LUT, you can see that this picture of the little cat is unchanged. Nothing has happened to it. What you could do is you can go here to LUT, adjustment and then infer LUT. So you open the normal picture and then the changed picture. But this is a bit problematic because it doesn't really give you a high quality LUT. So this is not the best way to do it. So if you want to have this kind of look, what you would have to do, let's delete this. Sorry, I deleted the wrong one. You go here to adjustments and then to, for example, to recolor. It's completely red now, and you can set this to soft light, and then you play around with the adjustments here until you have something that you like and it looks in the way that you want it to. And then now if you would export this, you can go over here, export LUT, and you can see now the cat has this kind of reddish hue on it. Yeah, so that's important. And by the way, also if you create a mask on here, like, I don't know why I created a mask right now. You can also draw on the layer itself. But anyways, let's go to a brush. If you would brush out something like this, this is also not included in the LUT. So this will not like exclude that area of the picture, because a LUT is just a table of all the colors you can have in a picture, and it compares the unchanged colors to the changed colors, value by value, just very simple. So the original color has the value 100, and then you saved this and said, but now 100 is 125. This is everything a LUT does. There's nothing else to it. So any kind of special kind of editing you do is not saved in the LUT, only how it changes from the brightness and the color. That's it. So if you want to do your own, you have to go through these adjustments, which can be a bit tedious sometimes, because of course using all these kind of other tricks gives you other results, and sometimes you can't even do it as a LUT because for example, like what I did with my change day to night, I can't create like the shining light from a light post because this is an extra effect, and this would just be applied to a certain area of the picture and not to the complete picture, so the LUT doesn't see that. So yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so you're a little bit limited with the LUT just to the color and brightness look of a picture. All right, what else do we have in the chat? Any other questions? Can you curve text in AP around circles? No, you cannot. I think someone found a workaround. I'm not sure how that worked, but what you can do is you can go into Affinity Designer, and there you can do this. Let's create a circle like here. I've actually never done this. Let's see if this actually works. And now, yeah, you can see here when you go near with the text tool, it snaps, it gives you this extra kind of icon, and now it turns into a path, and I can write on it, yes, you can do that here. So let's make this text bigger, and you can see it's actually curved around the circle. And now the strange or the crazy thing is that because it works in Affinity Designer, it should work exactly the same in Affinity Photo. I don't know why they don't exclude it. I have no idea. It should work exactly the same. They already have written the code. They have the software. They just would need to put it over in the other software, but it doesn't matter because now with Affinity Publisher, you have all the different personas in one software. And that is cool because now I can just click on Affinity Photo persona, and now I'm in Affinity Photo again, but this effect is still there. So that's pretty cool. And of course also, and let's test this, I've never tried this before either. If I now Control C to copy and go over to Affinity Photo, that works. Okay, it does work. Can I still edit the text? Yes, I can. So you can see Affinity Photo actually can do it just fine. Yes, you can do it here too, but not really. You have to buy the others too. So yeah, it does work. It gives you the extra functions. You can move the text around. So that's interesting. That is really interesting. Okay, so yeah, you can see one is on the inside, the other is on the outside. So yeah, it would work, it does not work, but if you have all of the different kind of software tools, which are very affordable and I think still at a sale, so get them now. Where's the welcome screen? Yeah, if you buy all of them now, 20% off. So that's a very good choice at the moment to do. All right, what else do we have? Where do I close this? There we go. Okay. Yeah, any other questions? Come on, guys, let's go. Let's shoot. Go, go, go. Oh, by the way, like I said before, I have this, I think it's called Power Chat. So you can click here and this is kind of a donation function. It's called Super Chat. Wow. Send a highlighted message. So you can send a highlighted message. You can enter any kind of amount and then send a message if you want to. Hey, can you, like, how high can you go? Whoa, 500. Hey, it even gets red. If you, it changes the color. So the normal stinky blue for $1 and the super red for $500 for 500 euros, actually, not dollars. Wow. Okay, if you feel like you have money to burn, there you go. Anyways, do we have anything else that we want to talk about today? Whoa, where's my software? Whoa. There we go. Okay. Let me think if I have anything else. I've showed the LUTs, talked about them. What else could we do today? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm blank at the moment. Sorry. I should have prepared better. It was like the day today was pretty cramped with everything. So yeah, the time got a lot shorter than I expected it to be. All right. Yeah. Let's say what the chat says. I've got the message from Affinity about text. I've got the message from Affinity about text on my Twitter. What does that mean? This is something the dev team are working on, but we don't have a time frame on what it will be added. Just that it will be added to a future version about text export. Ah, okay, cool. So they will add it at some time. Okay, that's great. I hope the sometime comes soon because there's a lot of other features there also on that kind of list. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Although I don't know if actually a lot of people work with Photoshop, although maybe they do. Because if you are a designer and you work with other designers or other companies, most of them use Photoshop files. So probably you need that. And not being able to save that is kind of hard. Yeah. Good. Okay, what else do we have? I'm sorry I can't do the Affinity Publisher review today. I really was looking forward to that, but I didn't have time to prepare that. But I will do a video about that very, very soon. So yeah, good. I'm sorry, I'm so blank right now. My mind, I have nothing in there where I say, hey, I could show you that at the moment. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, there is something I can show you. I actually want to do this as an extra video, but it became kind of short. I think I will still put it out as a video. I did a video about the deform filter and I forgot a really important function of the deform filter. So let's look at this right now. And that is, so you go up here to filter and then distort and then deform. And what I showed you in the video, and I actually used the same picture, is that you can set these kind of anchors. And then you can use one anchor and move this part around. You can see I can bend her chin in different kind of areas, make it a little bit shorter, make it a little bit rounder. So that looks very nice. And someone says, yeah, but you can use this also in Liquify. And why don't you use Liquify for that? But this is a very different effect. And what I forgot to show, and this is why probably so confusing why I'm not using Liquify, is let's go in here again, deform. And now I will set different points around her face like this. There we go. and then I will set different points out here to protect the rest or kind of fix it down. So, and now what I can do, I click and drag to select multiple points. And with these multiple points, you can see I can move her head around. Of course, in this case, the body follows for the reason that I didn't nail the body down. Or these kind of areas of the pixel, but you can see the face itself kind of is undisturbed by this moving around. Of course, when you move it around very much, it gets disturbed. So this effect is just for moving it around a little bit, but you could make her a little bit taller, you can make her leg a little bit longer, or her legs or arms or fingers or any kind of thing. You can make this a little bit longer. So this is what it actually does and is used for example, in fashion photography to prolong the neck and stuff like that. Of course, it's not used for making people more slender and stuff like that, because this, again, you would do with Liquify, where you just push in the sides to give a woman a nice what's it called? The part here is called taille. What's the English word for that? Taille. A waist. Yeah, a nice waistline. Give her a nice waistline. Yeah, anyways. Okay, so that's that. So, with the AP and AD persona in Publisher, is there any point in working with them directly? Why not do all work? You can do all work in Publisher now. Hey, Kevin, by the way. Hey, thanks for joining. Very nice. Thank you. No, I think you can actually do everything now just in Publisher, because you have the same tools here, and also everything up here completely changes with the filter and stuff in here. I'm not sure how well it works with plugins, but the plugin menu is here, so probably you can also use that. Yeah, so I think there should be nothing in the way of actually doing everything in here and working with that. By the way, I'm a bit confused that, I mean, I'm not really confused that everything is the same file, because Serif said that these files are the same file, just with different file endings. But what I would have expected in here is that here I have my pages to design stuff, and then I switch over to the designer persona, and here I have kind of a logo design that I can edit, and then it updates live over in my publisher persona. Because when I work on a logo and then I switch over and I'm still in the logo and not on the pages, I'm not sure how useful this would be. But like I said, I didn't look into the software yet. I can't do the review yet. Maybe this is how it's actually working. Oh, by the way, someone sent me a suggestion that says, and this is another cool thing we can talk about. So let's make a test file here. Let's make a new file and then save that. Tutorials. Go in here. Let's save this as test smart. Test smart. Okay, cool. So what they said is, there's my file. So now I can place this file here like a smart folder. Like a smart layer. So we have the file here. It's completely empty. And now you can see it is here, and it says embedded document. And when I double click on that, it doesn't do anything. That's strange. Oh, because it's open over here. Let's close this real quick. Let's double click here. No? Yeah, now I have to double click inside of the canvas onto it. You can see that now I am again in this document, and up here it says embedded. And what I was told is now if I edit the file over here and I add something, it will live update to the other side. So let's, for example, write some text here. Oh, it does. It really does. Hey, that's so cool. So you can actually like edit now here and then see exactly what you're doing. I am here. and move it around so it's exactly the right position where you need it without having to go back and forth between your embedded file and the original picture. So that is extremely useful. Did not know that this actually works. Hey, cool. So yeah, I'm learning from you as much as you learn from me. That's really nice. I didn't know that this is possible, and this is extremely useful. As you can see, live updating between these two files. And when you close this, it's still in here, and I can still double click and then go back to the file. And again, edit and change it and change text and move things around and stuff like that. So that is really, really nice. Okay, cool. Other questions? Yes, embedded document works, but still there is a problem because you can't just use PSD smart layer from PSD file. Yes, that is true. If you have a smart layer from a Photoshop file, I think it's rendered into pixel and it doesn't even ask you about the resolution, which is very bad because now that I have switched over from Adobe Photoshop to Affinity Photo like years ago, all the mockup files that I bought before are basically useless because I can't even open them now. I can't work with them, and of course the layer effects and all that kind of stuff doesn't work also. So there's like really cool files you can download to make something look like it's burned into wood, or it's like a stamp on paper, or it's like printed or engraved or stuff like that. All these kind of effects that you can just use as layer effects and you can buy online. They don't work in Affinity Photos. That is a bit sad. But maybe we'll see something similar and we will have kind of a huge library of these kind of things. I was thinking about creating my own macro packs for the channel and also for my online store. The problem is the macros at the moment work very inconsistent in what they actually record and how the recording is played back and how much control you can give the user over what is happening. So I don't really feel it's at a stage where I would like to create macros and sell them, because I don't feel like they would actually have the quality, or I could guarantee the quality that they should have. All right, sorry, that was a really long explanation for something very simple. Anyways, good. Okay. I think I will go maybe for another 10 minutes or something, and then we stop it for today. I think that's good enough. Because like I said, I would have done like 3 hours, but I didn't prepare the review. I didn't have time for that. Like I said, check out my LUTs that I've created. So I will link them again real quick, just as a reminder. So here you can check them out if you want to see if they are any good. There are 10 for free. You can download and use right now. 10 free LUTs. There you go. Let's post this in here a couple of times. And you can also, if you want to, buy the Pro Pack, which has 80 LUTs in there. That's a pretty huge amount and took a ton of time to create, but was a lot of fun. 80 LUTs Pro Pack for only $10. There you go. That's in here too. There you go. And of course, it supports my channels and the videos, and everything that I do is supported through these kind of products. So that's very, very helpful for me to keep up my channel and also make this something that is basically my life. So that's very important too. All right. Are there any other questions? Are there any other things you want to talk about or see? Or in Publisher, I've experienced placed or imported and even pasted pictures suddenly being impossible to move or edit. They acquire the little X's that indicate they are on the master page. Interesting. like I said, I have not worked yet with Publisher. I have looked in it a little bit, but like just 5 minutes or something. I did not have any kind of time to really check that out. I think Publisher is probably still a very young software. I mean, it's pretty cheap also for what it can do, but yeah, it's still in development, I guess. So probably, yeah, I'm not sure if you should professionally completely rely on it at the moment because of these problems, but to get started, if you want to do simple things, you can completely do that. For example, I myself have been a designer for well over 10 years, and in all of that time I've never used InDesign. I'm not really, just a little bit, not really, because I did everything in Illustrator. I did most of the stuff I did in Affinity, in Photoshop, and then the rest where I actually needed vector and stuff like that, I did in Illustrator, even postcards, and I didn't really do brochures because I found that kind of boring to do. Like if you do a 50-page brochure, it's not really my thing. I want to do posters and flyers and websites and stuff like that, like cool stuff that looks fun and is interesting to do. So, and always different with every project. I was thinking about working for theater because they have really cool posters there. And then I saw that I also have to do the brochures with the program and with the names of the actors. And I was like, no, not me. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm doing the posters, but I'm not doing the rest of that stuff because that seems super boring. I'm not that kind of guy. So I didn't do that at all. And yeah, I'm not that kind of person to do this kind of thing. So yeah, I like change. Good. All right. Is there any other kind of question that we have at the moment? Is there, I'm thinking, is there something else where people told me something in the YouTube comments about new functions and stuff like that? Or was there a question about something? Try to remember right now. I should have wrote, I really should have made a better list about these kind of things. By the way, a lot of people, when they suggest things, they suggest videos or tutorials I have already done on my channel. And I mean, I have done a really huge amount of tutorials so far. And it's super crazy that although I have done, let's look at the playlist. What, really? Only 146? I thought I've done a lot more. Interesting. I thought I've done like over 160 videos. Well, there's also the Affinity designer videos and stuff like that. Anyways, it's interesting that I still find topics and there is so much to do, and still topics I haven't even touched yet. For example, I've never done a video about the tone mapping persona, and I've never done a video about the developer persona. Main reason for that is that I do my adjustments and everything I need to do right here with these adjustment layers, because I'm used to do it like that in Photoshop. So I really like this kind of way to go in here, and this kind of moving around the stuff like in Lightroom is not really something I'm very adjusted to, like as a work process. You know, you have your kind of workflow. So for me, it's all these kind of filters and stuff is maybe more complicated, but I feel more at home with that. But I really should do videos about the developer persona and the tone mapping persona too. And the expert persona I should do a video about, although I have to admit I don't really get what it's good for, because the only thing that I see, let's click here. The only thing that I can see that you can do with the export persona, but not with the normal export, is that you can slice your picture. And I don't know why you really need that, actually. I mean, you need that if you build web pages, but this is more like a thing back from the HTML time, not from the PHP time that we have now. So we have now these kind of dynamic contents that change with the size of the device and your window on your screen and stuff like that. So this kind of hard cut to a certain size kind of image, and then it all works together as one design on a web page. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I'm not sure. Normally, I design pictures for the highest resolution and at the same time, so they zoom well with each other, so you can have like any kind of size still looks good and is readable. So yeah, I'm not really sure what else you do with the export persona. I think you can batch export, like you can do a ton of slices, and this could be useful if you have different kind of things here, like different logos and different elements, probably not just a picture, but different kind of things, and you want to export all of them at the same time. For example, you do game design and you have different kind of hero, like what is it called? Not a slice, but you have this kind of animation like in pixel art, where you have every kind of movement is a certain like of individual frame that is played, and you have to export that as different slices. So for that, it could be useful. Let's see if there are other questions here. Last question: when you are creating websites, which Zoom are you using? Which Zoom am I using? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You like in the browser, normally 100%, right? Or you mean in the software? In Affinity Photo, any kind of zoom that I need to work out the details that I'm working on, and then you go back and forward in the browser and test if this looks good, and also you try to figure out from the software, like not the software, but the thing that you're using, like WordPress, what kind of resolution you actually need, because you don't want it to be too big, so to save on download size, but you also don't want it to be too small, so it doesn't look pixelated, stuff like that. And then it's zooming around anyways, depending on how big the window is or what device it is. But what you can do, by the way, is, for example, you can go on any kind of website, and if you're in Chrome, press F12 on your keyboard, and this will change it over to the developer view, and there you can switch between the desktop view and the mobile view, and you can try out. You can see up here you have different devices like the Galaxy S5 and the Pixel 2 XL and the iPhone X10 or whatever it's called, X. And you can see here, okay, this kind of snapping thing gives me kind of code. So I see on the right side, it's highlighting it that blue and jumping to that position. So I see what's going on. But there you can test what it's looking like in your mobile device, basically. And sometimes it also has mobile functions. For example, and this is, by the way, a very nifty little trick. If you go to Instagram, let's go to the normal version. If you are on the normal version of Instagram, you can't upload anything. You can't upload a picture. But if you go to F12 and then you hit F5 for reloading the page, you suddenly down here get these different functions. And one of them is the plus sign in the middle, where you can upload pictures via your desktop browser. It's very, very useful. Okay. What else? There was another question. Let's see. 50, 100, I'm using 100 resolution. It looks very small still when I'm exporting it. Maybe you have a retina display and this is why it looks small, because it shouldn't look small. If it's like your full resolution of the screen, it's basically full screen. But you should remember that most people look probably in the browser full screen, but there could be stuff on the side and such. So you have to take this into consideration. For example, here you can see that there is a sidebar here. So if I have a picture and it has full resolution, it's actually too big for the browser page because it's not filling the complete screen. So maybe take that into consideration, and also try to figure out who is actually using your website, because if most of the people have retina displays and you're only working in 1080p, then the resolution is too small. So yeah, figure that out. That's important. Or also who you create it for. If most of the people come from mobile, your page needs to be optimized for mobile users, not so much for desktop users. And this is very much also about where the button sits and that they are displayed in the right order. on how the pictures are shown on your website. Okay, any other questions? Sorry, I hope this wasn't kind of off topic now with the website. How many people are still watching? 54, that's pretty cool. Awesome. Do we have any other questions? By the way, Reddit group, let's make some more promotion here. Join for free our Affinity Photo Reddit group. That's very important. We can talk there. I will share all of my tutorials there and some other stuff also. If you're one of my patrons, you can get feedback on your work. And you can also post your own things. If you post something, that's very important. For example, let's make a new create post. Down here it says flare. And this is something that's not used on any other web page, just on Reddit, so it might be confusing. But if you post something, please click here on flare and select one of these. So we have a community creation. I don't actually know what that is. I forgot why I put that in there. Anyway, community creation. Then you can request a feedback if you're one of my patrons. You can ask a question, you can start a discussion, you can post something that's inspirational, or you can post a tutorial. And of course, if you also create tutorials, you are free to share your tutorials for Affinity Photo, for Affinity Designer, for Affinity Publisher in there. I only have this kind of limit that I say I'm looking at it and see if the quality is good enough, because there are some tutorials on YouTube that are not that great. So I want to filter this out a little bit, because I want my community to have really good quality tutorials. Thankfully, so far I have never seen a bad tutorial for Affinity Photo. Yeah, but there's a lot of bad tutorials for Affinity for Photoshop. So this is why I said, yeah, maybe we do a little bit of quality control. Yes, anyways. Oh my god. All right. I was late. Hey, Massive. How you doing? Yes, you're very late. I'm about to end the stream for today, because I ran out of topics. I didn't prepare the publisher review as I thought I would. And by the way, if you join now, the reason why I have this crazy red beard, this is not normal for me. I did this because today I reached 10,000 subscribers. Again, thank everyone for subscribing to me. Thank you for being part of this really amazing journey and project and enabling me to do that. And I have a lot of fun teaching this and sharing the knowledge, but also learning a lot of stuff, because with all these tutorials, I get to learn a lot of new stuff and try out new things that I wouldn't use for my normal work, because I have, you know, with any kind of job, you get into a certain workflow, you have a certain kind of customer, and then you start to do the same things over and over. Of course, they are different creatively, but I apply the same techniques. But because now I have the tutorial channel, I get to try a lot of new techniques that are really interesting and fun, and also give me a chance to explore my other creative sides, basically. Yeah. And by the way, another creative chat video is coming soon, and this will be very interesting, because and I'm still influenced from this time in Barcelona. Hey, maybe we can talk about a little bit about Barcelona and art. So maybe I'm taking away a little bit from the creative chat video. So one of the things that was really interesting for me in Barcelona was that it's a very inspirational, open city with a lot of art and culture, and at the same time it has an incredibly high density of museums. So most of my time I spent in museums all day, every day, looking at the arts, reading the text, listening to the audio guide, stuff like that. And it was really inspirational, because although I already knew the artists like Jean Miro or Picasso, I was impressed by the works that I was seeing from them, and I also was impressed by all the stuff that they actually created and then put out as artworks, because I think if I had done some of them, I would have thrown them away. And this is not out of arrogance, because I don't think I'm better than them. I think I wouldn't have had the courage to show this as an artwork in a gallery and ask others what they think about it, you know? Because being an artist, being a creative, doing your own thing always takes a certain amount of courage. And I think most of us, we never reach that kind of courage to do the things that we actually want to do. And by the way, this is completely the video that I want to do as a creative chat. So if you're watching now, but you can still watch the other videos and more stuff in there. The important point is, every time you make a decision, your life splits into these two possibilities: the path that you took and the path that you didn't take. And that is very important, and it can be very small. Like you say, for breakfast, you have, I don't know, a sandwich, or you have, I don't know, a chocolate shake or something. And this will shape you in a small way every day throughout your life, but you also pick up these habits. But it can also be a big thing, like asking out the person you really admire for a date. And maybe if you would have done that, you would have married that person, have children and all that kind of stuff. But because you didn't do, you have never had that kind of experience. And getting back to what this has to do with art is, it is really important, and also for myself, to remind me every day I need to do the things that I just want to try, just so I can say I have done that, just so I have the experience, and just so I have taken this path, and just so I can allow this path to change my life and change me into another different future self. So it's really important when you have the choice to do something, and maybe it's outside of your comfort zone, or maybe something you're shy about. Other people who are really famous and really changed the world because they did what they do, have done things that are probably you would throw away, but they said, well, no, let's show it to people and see what they think about. And this is also something that I learned from my YouTube channel, because from the channel, I learned that people will find the worth and inspiration for them in their very own way, on their very own time. And this is something that was really important to understand for me, because before I always thought that I have to wait to show something to the public until I think it's good enough, until I think it's worthy to be shown. And this is basically the wrong way, because what I've learned now from my channel, but also from the trip to Barcelona, is that I actually don't have a right to take these creations away from other people, because even though they might not be interesting and important for me at that very moment, they might as well be very inspirational, interesting for other people, because they find something that resonates with their own life and their own history and changes them in their very own way. So that is a very important part to understand when making decisions of what to do and when to do things, that other people might find value in things that you don't find value in, and this makes it worth doing them for other people. And I think it's worth to think about doing things mainly for other people, because it's a much more interesting thing than doing things for yourself. Okay, that was a very long speech. And yeah, a kind of praying kind of, no, what was it? What does a priest do? He doesn't pray, he gives a sermon. I don't know, it was kind of strange. Anyways, okay, is there anything else we want to talk about? Here is recently lots of great content subscribed. Hey Chris, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being one of the 10,000 people. I reached 10,000 today. This is why I have this crazy beard today. Celebrating, yeah, YouTube with the YouTube red. Even I think it looks orange on some screens, probably because of the bad light and the bad camera here. Anyways, do we have anything else? No worries. Can't wait for the next discussion. Affinity and yeah, I really want to do these creative chat videos more often, because they're really important. They are not getting watched as much. I think only maybe 10% of the people who usually watch my content watch these videos, which is a bit sad, because they are, I think, pretty inspirational, and they are different because they're not what you expect. They're not Affinity photo tutorials, but I think it's more important to be like in the right mindset when you enter Affinity Photo, and then you can do amazing creative stuff with that, rather than learning techniques but not know what to do with that. So these kind of inspirational talks, or like just creative talks, just pieces of my mind, I think they are equally helpful to work well with software like Affinity Photo or Affinity Designer. All right, enough. Manips. What are manips? Look forward to more of your manips. You mean like photo compositions or what? I'm not sure what you mean. Okay. What else should we talk about? Or should we finish the stream for today? I'm not sure. I think we have probably talked long enough. Yeah, like I said, I put out the pack today. I will still post it on Patreon, so if you haven't seen it. By the way, I wanted to do like a special where I put together all the 3 packs I put out today, and then make a sale price for them. So I will probably post that also later, because I couldn't prepare that as a product. So yeah, let's see. Anyways, okay. What do I want to look at? There's the manipulations. Yeah, I want to do more like intense projects on my channel, longer projects. And this is, by the way, a new idea that I want to try out in the near future, because I have done these longer projects about Affinity Designer, like with the ice cream, with the monster, stuff like that, with the landscape, videos that just take a longer time. So I thought if I do this in Affinity Photo, the thing is, if you put a video on YouTube and it's an hour long, most people are not going to watch the full hour. So I would work for nothing. And at the same time, if I would split it up in a series, the number of people watching would cut down with every element of the series. And again, it wouldn't really do anything, and really it wouldn't help me to do that. So what I was thinking I could do is I do bigger projects like these photo compositions, photo manipulations that take maybe an hour or longer, and then I do a time lapse of that. So I make a short, like a 10-minute video where I explain the basic techniques I'm using, then I show you a time lapse, then I show you the end result, and then you can get the full video here on Gumroad for, I don't know, a certain amount. If you want to see the full tutorial, so it's like an online course, stuff like that. I thought this would be nice for the longer videos where I do like more elaborate projects, and of course still you have all of these other tutorials. But if I do something in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it has to be kind of simple technique, reduced to a certain kind of standard or kind of results because of that, which you have seen with my horror tutorial, where a lot more things could have been done to make it look realistic, and little tweaks and things you should have put in there, but that would have taken probably at least 2 hours to finish, and I wanted to do it in one tutorial, so this is why it's in that kind of format. All right. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think I will end the stream for now, and like I said, I will bring the review for Affinity Publisher as soon as possible. And there was something else I wanted to do. I don't remember. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being part of my channel, and thank you for being part of these 10,000 people who subscribe to my channel. It's really amazing. It was really nice. I was so happy to reach it. And by the way, for myself, I think now I can actually call myself a YouTuber, because before I was like, yeah, if you have 2 or 3 or 5 or 6,000 people subscribing to you, that's something that can happen by chance, and you don't really know if you're actually there is a future and something will happen, or you can actually build your career or your life on that. But reaching 10,000, I think, is like where you open the first little door to YouTube and can say, yes, now I'm actually a YouTuber, a very small YouTuber, like the dust speck on the nose of an actual big YouTuber, but I'm like a tiny little mousy YouTuber that actually can say, yeah, I'm doing it, and I can prove the numbers that people actually interested in what I'm doing. So that's very nice. Yeah, so that's very cool. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. And also have a nice day or night, and also weekend, because today is Saturday. Okay, thank you. Bye.